First ACC regular season title in school history. Florida State wins it 80-62.
Between 2015 and 2020, Florida State basketball achieved 5 straight seasons of 20 or more wins, the longest such streak in program history. During that stretch, head coach Leonard Hamilton and the Seminoles also reached their first Elite Eight of the 21st century, and a big reason behind FSU's dominant run to close out the 2010s.
With the 6th pick in the 2017 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Jonathan Isaac from Florida State University. The San Antonio Spurs select Devin Vassell from Florida State University. The Chicago Bulls select Patrick Williams from Florida State University.
8 Seminoles were drafted into the NBA during Florida State's unprecedented run of success, and that included a pair of lottery picks in 2020 with Ford's Patrick Williams and Devin Vassell. That shouldn't come as a surprise though, because the duo spearheaded what many, including Noel Game Day writer Austin Veazey, considered to be the program's best team ever.
That team was loaded with talent. Yeah, they had every piece that you want out of the contending team. You had the experienced guard play with Trent Forrest, Devin Vassell. You had the Dickie V diaper dandy in Patrick Williams. And they had the ultimate Swiss Army piece in Malik Osborne, who could play the 4 or the 5, switch out on the perimeter, and still do a damn good job of doing it.
The Seminoles finished that year 26-5 and won their only ACC regular season title to date. As a reward for the historic campaign, FSU was ranked number 4 in the final AP poll. But that's all there is to show from such a historic year.
2020 college basketball season is over. Earlier today, the NCAA announced it is canceling the men's and women's basketball tournaments due to coronavirus concerns.
For so many teams in 2020, like Dayton or San Diego State, dream seasons were minimized to nothing more but what-ifs because of COVID-19. Florida State is one of the schools on that list, and it may have very well been the best team on that list as well.
It really was a special team. It's probably the best three-point shooting team they've had, but they had every piece required. That 2020 team really, realistically could have contended for a national championship. It was just them, Kansas, and Baylor.
COVID did more than just put a damper on the Noles championship aspirations of 2020. The effects have actually continued to plague the program up until now. In 2022, FSU just went 9-23, its worst record in a single season ever. And over the past 3 years, Florida State is just 43-53 overall. Veazey explains how the pandemic played a role in this falloff.
They're such a huge in-person scouting team. It's how they've always operated. And you weren't able to go in person and scout these guys. You weren't able to build those relationships 2-3 years in advance. Florida State's never going to be one of those programs that can offer a guy 8 months before their college season starts and land those guys. They've got to build these relationships over a few years. And COVID really canceled that. It canceled their evaluations, and that's why they're not developing the same way they would have. And a lot of that can really just be drawn back to those evaluations that couldn't happen during COVID.
The virus also overlapped with the rise of NIL and the transfer portal, which hasn't boded well for the Noles either. Coach Hamilton is the oldest head man in the ACC at 76 years of age, and he himself has admitted to struggles with adjusting to the new era of college athletics. Yet with so much of Florida State's regression being a result of change, there is one major hurdle that has been the same for decades.
It hurts for me to say that it's just basketball never will be the priority at Florida State. Football always will come first. Florida State's athletic director, Michael Alford, has done a phenomenal job with his coaching hires. He did a great job with the soccer coach, did a great job with baseball. We'll see what kind of resources they want to pour into basketball because it really just is far from the focus in Tallahassee.
All these setbacks serve as the context behind Florida State's fall from grace. And that brings us to the present, where FSU has continued to struggle to begin 2024. The Noles are a respectable 9-4, but are also 0-4 against power conference opponents, and each of those losses has come by double digits. So barring any major turnaround, it could be another down year for Florida State. But at this rate, maybe a down year isn't the right label, because recent history suggests that this is becoming the new norm. Jonah Weintraub, WAER Sports.